Buenos dias. Oh, RGT85 here. You got it 2 days in a row. You should feel spoiled that you got that 2 days in a row. But once again, there's a couple stories going on that I want to cover. I don't like making separate videos for things, so I'm just going to put them in one video. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, hit the bell as well, all that good stuff. Without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. I'm going to start things off with a game that many people left this game for dead, and even maybe I did to some degree. I, of course, am talking about AEW Fight Forever, one of my most anticipated games of 2023. And while it was fun, it definitely had some problems. It definitely lacked in things like content. There definitely were some issues with the game. The creator wrestler was absolutely terrible, and it seemed like this was kind of going to be a one and done sort of situation. There have been some update patches that have come out for the game, some new game modes like Stadium Stampede, which I actually find to be a lot of fun. Like, I understand it's not really like a wrestling game mode, but I think it's pretty fun for what it is. Of course, we've gotten some DLC characters, but the game obviously needed some retooling in terms of the AI, some retooling in terms of moves that people are doing online, and most importantly, more content. But it seems like AEW Fight Forever is not dead, because it was just announced by THQ Nordic that a new patch has gone out for AEW Fight Forever, and Season 2 is incoming. It will be announced in due time via official channels from either THQ Nordic or AEW Games. And when you look at the lineup of stuff that they've done as far as, you know, tweaking stuff with the game, there's actually quite a good bit of fixes that they have done. You know, some issues, some glitches, some warping stuff. I think one of the main things that they need to focus on, though, is where, like, people just do these cheesy ass moves online and then just spam them, and it goes into like an infinite loop. Now, I have not personally checked out this download patch yet, patch 1.07, but you can see here, like, there's a quite a bit of amount of work that they have done into tinkering with things, either fixing issues or fixing different sorts of bugs that were in the game or glitches that were in the game, which is a good thing. You know, they also did some additional fixes on the Switch version and the PC version for some of the problems with Stadium Stampede, and then there's more for the Xbox versions and the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 versions. But I'm pleasantly surprised that they aren't abandoning this game, because even though I knew kind of off the record that there was going to be more content coming to the game, I thought, you know, things like that change. You know, if a game comes out and it's successful, then companies will want to continually support it. Now, there are some outliers to that, where games end up getting supported for many, many years, and they end up transforming what the game was from when it was initially released. A game like No Man's Sky, for instance, today is drastically different than it was back when it initially released. But I didn't know that THQ Nordic and specifically AEW Games would really have that sort of fight in them to try and make this the best game possible, because I do think that the groundwork is excellent. I love the gameplay within the game itself, the grappling mechanics and everything like that, because it feels very familiar, and it's very sort of pick up and play, but with nuances that make it better for those people who like to get into the nitty-gritty side of things when it comes to the wrestling games. I mean, I still play No Mercy an absurd amount, especially that WWF Legends ROM hack that I showed you guys on the channel, because that's just like next level stuff. And I feel like they could do that with this AEW game. They just need to add more to it. You know, I don't know that you want to go out there and charge people for more content and stuff like that. Like creator wrestler stuff, that all needs to be free. You need to put in a ton more things in order to make wrestlers actually look like wrestlers, so we can make an updated roster, or we can have wrestlers from other companies be put into the game. Like, the moves are fine as far as having the moves of other wrestlers, but it's about having the parts to make the wrestlers look pretty decent. All in all, though, I'm hopeful for this. You know, maybe I'm setting my expectations up a little bit too high with this, which is probably the case, but I'm hopeful that this season 2 is kind of a revamp, like maybe a relaunch of the game. Obviously, the game's on sale right now, so I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see, though. Definitely interesting to see, you know, how they sort of traverse this landscape of wrestling video games, because competition's getting fierce out there, man. There's a lot of wrestling games coming up, and you don't want to get left behind in this because it's a viable market. Are you still checking out AEW Fight Forever? I honestly haven't played in like 2 months. Let me know in the comment section down below. And finally, this isn't a story that I necessarily expected to be talking about here, because I felt like, you know, we all kind of know video game history here on this channel, and if you don't, I try to teach you these sort of things. It seems like a statement that would have been made in the 1990s and been a viable statement, but in the year 2023, I'm not quite sure I'm making this statement. I, of course, am talking about SEGA essentially calling out Nintendo, saying that they want Sonic to pretty much be as big and even surpass Mario. In 2023, they're saying, and look, I'm a Sega fanboy. I obviously have a bias towards Sega stuff, especially classic IPs. I have a bit of a bias towards Sonic the Hedgehog games, but I think Sonic Superstars is a good game. I will die on that hill. Is it a game that you want to spend $60 on day one? I don't know. That depends if you like Sonic the Hedgehog games. But I definitely like what they did with Sonic Superstars, and there have been some great Sonic games over the years, but there's also been a lot of dog shit Sonic games over the years, and I mean, that's just a factual thing. And if Mario had the amount of dog shit games that Sonic has had in the same time period, maybe this would be a bit of a more viable statement. I don't know. This is coming to us from Nintendo Everything. Sega says it wants Sonic to surpass Mario. Yeah, and I want my bank account to surpass $1 million, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, in an interview posted on its website, Sega executive director and what else are they? But Osamu Ohashi? God, don't crucify me in the comments. But basically, they said, you know, they respect Mario, but they want to pass him. Here's what he said via Google Translate. Simply put, I want to surpass Mario. Sonic is a game that was originally developed to compete with Mario, and it still hasn't achieved that goal. Our history is to catch up and surpass Mario because we respect Mario. I want people to play it all over the world, including Japan, like Mario, and I want the movie to be a bigger hit than Mario. I would like to see USJ to create a Sonic area as well, Universal Studios Japan. That's our goal for those of us who love Sonic. Now, what did I just say? I talked about history. And the fact that this statement was spouted, knowing damn well that Sonic the Hedgehog at one point in time in the United States was bigger than Mario, that makes this whole statement pointless to me. Because it was bigger than Mario. There was 2 simultaneous cartoons going on for Sonic the Hedgehog. The Sega Genesis was outselling the Super Nintendo in the United States. Sonic was a bigger character than Mario was. Sonic was like, they had the Sega stuff at Disney World and stuff like that. I remember going and like, what was it, the Vision of the Future place or whatever, the Land of Tomorrow Today, I don't remember what the hell it was called, but that was basically a Sega thing. And it really, why now? Why now? You had that chance, but you also had the problem that Sega of Japan and Sega of America did not get along. I've talked about it time and time again. That's why you have Sonic CD and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. 2 games that, yes, they're both Sonic the Hedgehog games, but they play different. They feel different. They have a different vibe to them because that was Sega of Japan's vision of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega of Japan did not do a great job in making the Japanese audience love Sonic the Hedgehog like Nintendo did with Mario. That's why, although Sonic the Hedgehog was huge in North America and was bigger than Mario at one point in time, it was not that way in Japan. They could not capitalize on that marketplace. But you've also released games like Sonic 06 that just show you that you don't necessarily care about the mainline Sonic games. You try to do so many different and weird things. You know, some of them worked. I like Sonic and the Secret Rings on the Wii. Like, I don't think that's a bad game. Sonic Mania was well received critically, you know, but Mario has just been doing it for so long and at a high level for so long. There is no Mario game that's like Sonic 06. There is no Mario game that's like Sonic Unleashed. You know what I'm saying? There was no huge dips in quality. Sure, you could say that, you know, New Super Mario Brothers, that franchise became stagnant, but it was never anything bad. It just wasn't necessarily great. It was still competent. It was still very good for what it set out to do. I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand this. This is just ridiculous. You want Sonic to be featured at Universal Studios. You want the movies to do well. Like, I get it, but why even like bring this up? Like, what's the point in bringing this up? I want to be bigger. I want to be bigger than Mario. It's like, bro, you had your chance. There was a golden opportunity in the 90s. You were bigger than Mario at one point in time, but you fumbled the bag. You dropped the ball on the goal line. It was an easy touchdown, but you're like, no, let's just not get along with our other division and release all these systems and just have all this crap circulating around it. So, I don't know. I mean, as a Sega fan, as a Sega fanboy, it pains me to say this because I will die on the hill that I like Sega more than I like Nintendo, even though people probably don't, think with that. Do I have Super Mario Ice? Nah, bro. I got the Sonic Ice right here. Do I have a Super Mario Cup to hold some pens and other things? Nah, bro. I got a Sonic the Hedgehog cup, but I got to keep it a buck. Sonic ain't passing Mario anytime soon. Be happy that you still managed to make Sonic relevant in 2023 with all the stupid shit you've done with it, and just rest on those laurels and be like, we're gonna make these games better. I'm not calling out Nintendo and Mario in this situation, Sega, and neither should you. That's why I need to be president of Sega, because I can right this ship. I can right these wrongs. Yeah. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. Go Knicks. They're about to play the Cavaliers on the second half of a back-to-back today. Won the game last night. Hopefully we win the game tonight. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.